Yeah, I'm drinking tea out of a Christmas mug, but that's because it's the biggest mug I have. Man, do I love me some tea. What is up, Finn fans? First off, you can tell that there's a giant thing in front of my face. Don't be perverted. This is a microphone that I bought thanks to Matthew Graper with that crazy package he sent me a while back with the $100 Amazon gift card. Ridiculous. And because of all you guys watching the videos, subbing, Patreons, you all can help me upgrade the equipment, upgrade everything around me. So I greatly appreciate all of you, especially for helping me hit 9K. And thank you guys so much, especially you, Matthew Graper. Really appreciate it. So let's jump into this video. And if you can tell by the title of the video, more combine stuff. Mostly this video is going to be talking about combine quarterbacks, the top 4 essentially. A lot of news surrounding them in the Miami Dolphins, so I'm going to be talking about that. News broke about who's playing London, who's playing in Mexico. We're going to be talking about that. And then got some news about my next video afterwards. Before we get into that, let's do a trivia real quick. So you guys are watching this on Saturday the 29th. I'm recording this on Friday the 28th. Hopefully no news really breaks. I'm going to be out doing stuff wedding related, getting venues, trying to look at venues. It's a process getting married. So this trivia says, who is the only Dolphin player to post more than 3,500 career yards, both rushing and receiving? So who is the only Dolphin player to post more than 3,500 career yards, both rushing and receiving? So rushing 3,543 and receiving 3,592. Who is the Dolphin player? So let's jump into the news. First things first, unfortunately, we found out who's going to be playing in Mexico and who's going to be playing in London. Only 2 teams really are going to be playing, one in Mexico and one in London. And unfortunately, we found out it's the Arizona Cardinals will be playing in Mexico, which means that the Miami Dolphins home game is going to be in London. Those are the 2 home teams that given up their home one home game on the season to play abroad, even though Mexico is not really abroad, and that's why I wanted the Miami Dolphins to play in Mexico. But unfortunately, it's the Arizona Cardinals. They'll be playing in Mexico, which means the Miami Dolphins will be heading over the seas to London. Got a few of you guys in London. I was going to try a British accent, but I am horrible at it. But you guys will be able to watch the Miami Dolphins play a home game there. Hopefully not against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe against Cincinnati. Crappy team. Go play them over in London. But that's the little tidbit of news I want to give you. Came out yesterday, being Friday. Now, or today for me, being Friday. Let's jump into a lot of the stuff that came out yesterday for you, today for me. And we're going to talk about the guy that a lot of you guys are probably super sick and tired of hearing about, especially linked to the Miami Dolphins, and that is Tua. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because a lot of you guys don't like it. So Tua met with the Dolphins, and it's all over, especially the Sun Sentinel broke it, that he didn't have a great meeting with the Dolphins. He felt very standoffish, I guess you could say, with the Dolphins. Now, this is what the Sun Sentinel put out as their title. Dolphins Tua relationship gets off to a less than ideal start at NFL Combine. And essentially, Tua came out of the meeting and he felt like it was a cold shoulder. He felt like the team brushed him off and the team wanted nothing to do with him. This is what apparently he said. He said, "What just happened? How am I supposed to feel like it's the right place for me if they act like that? Maybe they are after Justin Herbert. No one was excited. They didn't get any indication of he's their guy. He felt weird. Is this a joke?" This is a source said. So a source is saying that this is how Tua felt after the meeting. All the stuff I just said. Plus, he's not turned off, but it was just weird. So Tua's not like, oh, I'm not going to Miami now. If they draft me, I want to get traded out. But he's like, yeah, it was just a little weird. It was just a little weird. So when this news broke from this article, a lot of people were like, oh my God, what's happening? Do they not want Tua? Are we not going to get Tua now? What's happening? All this stuff. And I could say to you guys, it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. You think that the Miami Dolphins, now this is the thing too. Tua might have went into that interview thinking, the whole fan base wants me and the media is putting it out there that you guys are tanking for me and, they want me. So I'm going to go into this interview. They're going to schmooze me up and they're going to kiss my butt because essentially they want me to go to Miami. And he probably walked into the interview with Brian Flores, Chris Greer, and Brian Flores being Brian Flores. He better have been 15 minutes early because then you're on time. Because we all know if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't be late. So he probably walked in and Brian Flores was like, "Hey, how are you doing? Brian Flores, nice to meet you. Please take a seat." And just started grilling the man. And I bet you any amount of money he did that to all of the quarterbacks that he met. I've said this in a past video. I don't know if it was my last video or the other Combine News video. Head coaches are linked to their quarterbacks. This is a quarterback that Brian Flores is going to make damn well sure he is 100% on board with. So he's going to be linked to this quarterback. So Tua might not have liked, now again, sources say that he said all these things, but Tua might not have liked that, how stern and maybe how honest Brian Flores was and how he wanted to know things. You test the quarterback. You see how they do. Push their buttons. Get in their head. How are you doing? All this stuff and see how they react. I honestly don't think this is anything. I think this is a whole load of malarkey. I honestly don't think this is anything anyone should. The Tua fans that want the Dolphins to trade Tua, I think you have nothing to worry about. Zero, zilch, nada. You got nothing to worry about. I don't think there's anything to this. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to show their hand when it comes to the players. I don't think they're going to show their hand when it comes to the media. I think this is a lot of nothing. So there's that. Then Herbert, who is another guy that's linked to the Miami Dolphins because everyone thinks that the Dolphins want Herbert, not Tua, had a great session. Now, I told you I'm going to break down everything after the Combine's over. So I think the Combine finishes Monday. You'll get a video Tuesday with my recap of the Combine, best performers, all that stuff. I'll mention a few of them after I talk about this. So that's going to happen later where I talk about the 40-yard dashes and how they did in passing and all that stuff. But apparently, Herbert had a good session. Herbert did really well, which kind of reinforces that, he has the arm strength, he has the abilities, he has all that stuff. I think he ran a 4.51. I think that was his 40. It's off the top of my dome, and I think Tannehill ran like a 4.57. Again, this is off the top of my dome, or it was like a 4.41, and Tannehill ran a 4.47 off the top of my dome. Again, I'm going to talk about all this in my recap video of the Combine. So, he had a good Combine. So everyone's like, hey, Dolphins, Herbert, that's that connection. Look at this, look at that. He had a good Senior Bowl, performed really well at the Combine. So that's that connection too. Armando Salguero likes to talk about that connection. Just so you know, the Tua article, that was from the Sun Sentinel. I'm going to give you guys all the sources. And Herbert, that whole thing is from Armando Salguero, who's talking about how, Herbert, did well, and the Dolphins, don't be surprised Dolphins draft Herbert and don't want Tua, or if Tua's not there, they go Herbert route. That is Armando Salguero. Then Love popped into this picture. This is from Beasley, Adam Beasley. Love popped into the picture, and, he's another guy. He has the physical traits. Ran a good 40. Had good, a good session, good throwing, good deep balls, good accuracy. Again, a lot of this stuff, and, they call it the underwear bowl because you got no pressure in your face. You don't have a DB trying to jam the receiver and get him off his route, and then you have a guy coming at you. We don't know these things. That's where the tape comes in. But, he had a good session. And then, some people are chattering, like his mobility mixed with his arm skill, mixed with, the other traits, kind of like a little bit of a Patrick Mahomes. And maybe with this Chan Gailey type offense, they want a little bit of Jordan Love at 5. Or maybe they trade back up or try to get ahead of the Colts, with that 18th pick, move up, try to get Jordan Love. Take a pick at 5, maybe a Becton at 5, offensive tackle, trade back up, get a Jordan Love. Have that combination. There's talks about that, have that, speedy athletic quarterback going in the Chan Gailey spread type offense. There's those talks starting to brew. Now, the Dolphins are linked to every quarterback, every single quarterback. I'm not even going to talk about Jalen Hurts. I'm about to talk about it in 2 seconds, but there's that Love connection. Dolphins love them some Love is what I'm hearing. Is that a possibility? We'll see. And then you got Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts showed how smart of a quarterback he is. Jalen Hurts met with Steve Mariucci, being that Gruden is now coaching the Raiders. He doesn't do the Gruden camp anymore. And, Jalen Hurts met with Steve Mariucci and redrew his offensive play perfectly. And showing and a lot of the meetings and stuff showed how this kid's smart. This kid is football knowledge. He can read defenses and do those things. They think he'll be a second-round pick. They don't think he'll go first, but they think he won't go past the third. I don't know. I don't think that's an option for the Dolphins unless they really go heavy on offensive line with that first round and then potentially take Hurts in the second. But I think that they would probably either go Tua, Herbert, Love, or Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not one of the fans who think we should trade up. Now, there's some guys out there that think we should trade up, that think, you didn't accumulate the picks to not move up and get what you need. You didn't do what you did to not use them, right? And makes 100% sense. It makes 100% of sense that that's what you want to do. Me personally, I think you have a lot of needs, and I want to use those 3 firsts and those 2 seconds to fill a good chunk of those needs. The only way I'm really moving is probably from 5 to 8, and then I would probably take like Jordan Love and, that transition, try to get a first for next year or try to get like an additional third plus more. I'm not saying that that's all I'm going to take. But there, Tom McShay came out, and he talks about Joe Burrow, and he says that the Miami Dolphins want him, and that he knows for a fact. I know for a fact that the Miami Dolphins want Joe Burrow, is something he said. I know for a fact the Miami Dolphins want Joe Burrow. I honestly, I can't sit here and tell you 100% what the Dolphins are going to do. No one can tell you what the Dolphins, the Lions, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Jets, the Giants, the Lions, the Chargers, the Bucks. No one can sit here or sit there or sit on your TVs or anywhere and definitively tell you this is what they're going to do. The only time you could really say that is when the Dolphins already signed Jake Long before we drafted him number 1 overall, because that was a done deal. I think they even did it. The Colts even did it with the Andrew Luck. That was a done deal. You're like, oh yeah, they're drafting this guy. It's 100% certainty. As of right now, we don't know. And as of right now, the Miami Dolphins are running this ship tight, airtight. They could take this ship and go right into space with it. The fact that they essentially messed with Tua's head shows that they're like, we're not going to kiss your butt. We're not going to let the world know that we want you. So the fact that coming out of the combine yesterday, there was news about the Dolphins messing with Tua, the Dolphins wanting Herbert, the Dolphins wanting Love, and the Dolphins wanting Joe Burrow, I say to Chris Greer and Brian Flores, you did a good job, because nobody knows what the Dolphins want. Nobody knows what the Dolphins want. Pick 5 comes, Tua's on the board, Jordan Love's on the board, Herbert's on the board, they take Okudah. And the Dolphin fan base, here in Jersey, I would be able to hear the stadium just erupt. And what are they doing? I love it. I love every minute of it. I think that the Dolphins, what they're doing right now, keeping this a very is amazing. And I love it. Don't get me wrong, it drives me nuts because I would love to know what they pick, but it's like your parents coming up to you and saying, we got all your Christmas gifts. But you got to wait about a month, 2 months. So the draft is so long away, but you got to wait. You got to wait to open your gifts. We got them all. We got them in October, but you got to wait. You're like, what? Or November 1st, like, we got your gifts, but you got to wait. And you're like, what? What is wrong with you? So, but yeah, that's some of the news that came out yesterday for you, today for me being Friday. Like I said, I'm going to give a full recap of the combine, top performers, all that, people that I'm interested in, all that stuff. I'm going to do that after the combine is completely over. But as of, right now, I'll give you a little tidbit. Okudah, if you guys didn't see his press conference where one guy was like, what do you feel about your penalties? And he was like, what do you mean? No pass interference, no holding. You might want to check your tape. That wasn't me. I was like, ooh. got him. I was like, that was nice. That was nice. And then Becton, that tackle. Oh my goodness. Let me give you some stats from Becton, right? Let me pull this up, because this man he's 6'7", 364 pounds, offensive lineman, ran a 5.11, and then they're saying his second run ran like a 4.98. He was the biggest player on the field at the combine, and he ran a 5.11 and a 4.98. I would love to have him at left tackle. I would love it. But there's no way he's going to be at 18, and you'd have to pull the trigger for him at 5. I'd love it. But, like, again, I'm giving you spoilers from my video that's probably going to come out Tuesday when I break down the entire combine. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about these 5 stories that came out. Let me know what you guys think about the Dolphins heading over to London again. Be sure to comment below. I love reading your guys' comments, even the mean ones. And let's get into comment of the day. Now, this comment comes from Vic. If you guys are in the live streams and if you guys are in my premieres, you guys know who Vic is. Vic is an awesome man. One of my Patreons, one of my top Patreons, Vic. And what Vic says to me is, question of the day, Doug, under what condition do you skip a quarterback this year? Or do you take one of the top 4 no matter what? What are you willing to give away this year and still be successful? Love the comment, Vic. He actually said it in one of my premieres. I think it was Thursday's premiere video. And I told him, I'm like, Vic, you need to send this to me, because that's a very great question and coincides with what I'm talking about today with the top 4 potential quarterbacks that the Dolphins could take. Now, under what condition do you skip a quarterback this year? I skip a quarterback if I don't feel like I don't want to trade up. So sitting at 5, if all of a sudden Tua and Burrow are gone, Becton just jumped off the page at me with his combine and his movement and his speed and all. I was like, wow, that could be a 5 mover. And then, if we can't potentially trade in front of the Colts to get Love or Herbert, I'd rock with Fitz and Rosen, see what we got there, and potentially see what we can do at next year, getting the quarterback. But I'm the mindset of, you see what you have, and if you have a possibility to get something better, you pull the trigger on it. So say we're sitting here and Brian Flores knows what he has in Rosen because he's seen him practice all year, and all of a sudden, Love is there. Say Love is there at 18, which he's not going to be. Or Love is there at 5, Herbert's there at 5, and he's like, both of these guys are better. And we could still move up and do this, and that. Pull the trigger. But as of right now, with your question, what are you willing to give away this year and still be successful? The Dolphins have a lot of needs. Offensive line, defensive line, another corner. Quarterback, Fitz might still be somewhat successful, but I want the future. So, those are the things you got to really think about. I don't know if I'd skip a quarterback this year, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Would I be mad if they did? No. But would I personally do it? I don't think I skip a quarterback this year. But thank you for the comment, Vic. Like I said, guys, be sure to comment below. I forgot to give you guys the answer to comment of the day before the comment, because I got really excited. This new microphone is getting me excited. I could see my audio recording over here, and I'm just like, I wonder how this is going to sound. I hope you guys like the new sound. The answer to the trivia, which is, who is the only Dolphin player to post more than 3,500 career yards, both rushing and receiving? So he rushed for 3,543 yards, and he received for 3,592 yards. That is Tony Nathan from 1979 to 1987, the year I was born. Tony Nathan is the answer to the trivia question. But yeah, hope you guys got it. I didn't get it. I did not know that. But that was literally before I was born. I was born in 87, so I didn't know any of that stuff. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of everything. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter all day today. For me, Friday, when this news broke, I was tweeting it out. I was having cool conversations with a lot of very awesome Twitter people, one of them being Josh Houts. I'm going to try to get that man on this channel. He knows his Dolphin stuff, and he likes to do video breakdowns with a bottle. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. Also, check out the Bit Boys. I'm working on the podcast. I got this brand new shiny mic. I might actually start doing a Dolphins podcast. I'll let you guys know when that happens, and I'll let you know where you can find it, whether it be on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff, or all of it. So keep your eyes out for that, but also check out the Big Boys, and be sure to check that out and subscribe if you like what you see. If you don't feel like you need to. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up. Guys, we're getting closer. Free agency is not that far away. Tomorrow is March 1st, which means 17 days after tomorrow is the start of free agency. I am taking off for free agency. You're going to get videos all day from me, probably straight from the phone, because I want to get that stuff to you right away. So give this video a thumbs up for that, and because you like the content and the upgrades I'm trying to do. Check out DolphinsHawk.com. Very great site. Dolphin content over there. A lot of great beat writers, podcasters, all that stuff. Hit that subscribe button. I got a lot planned. I have my free agency quarterback breakdown probably coming out Monday. I have my combine review coming out Tuesday, and then I'm going to start doing all of the free agents: wide receiver, running back, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, secondary. I'm going to break down where I think they will go, even if it's not the Dolphins, and who I like for the Dolphins. So be sure to subscribe to see those videos. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you can see the videos when they come out. But other than that, I will see you guys Monday with the breakdown of the free agent quarterbacks. If news breaks like this, I'll try to get you the video before that video. But other than that, I will see you guys Monday. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.